Hello, hi, and welcome everybody to my channel. I'm Malik, your potato here, and today we're going with something completely different than I usually do. Today I'm gonna help you try to survive a little bit longer in this endless time loop in Returnal. The game came out a few days ago. It is tougher than we expected. A lot of people are struggling throughout the first biome and the first boss, and I would like to help them through the struggle, help them understand where the mistakes are and where the possibility of improvement is. And this is what this video is for. So, starting off, I would like to talk about positioning and movement. Now, positioning and movement is one of the most important factors of Returnal. Let's start with positioning. If you are encountering enemies that are having a ton of AoE attacks and they have got a huge range, you obviously don't want to stand too close to that enemy. On the other hand, if you have enemies that have got missiles, tracking missiles of anything of such sort that will hunt you even behind the cover, then you want to make sure you're moving constantly, you're not standing still. If you stand still, you're dead. This is a primary rule of Returnal. It is a fast-paced game. It is supposed to be played as a fast-paced game. There is no space or time to stand still. For me, Returnal feels very much like Doom, and this is how I play it. I don't stand, I run around, I jump, I grapple everything I can. If I see that enemies are aiming at me, I will most likely grip the first hook I can place. I will try to throw myself over to the other side of the map. It's most likely the enemies will have to turn around, they will have to re-aim at you. It will take them some time, it will give you that split second to kill them and survive a little bit longer. Now, the second factor that people don't take in mind is a weapon of choice. If you're running a shotgun, then you obviously want to get up close and personal. You want to dish as much damage as you can with this 5 or 6 or whatever ammo in a magazine you can have before the reload. If you're running something like me, my favorite weapon is Electropylon Driver, where it's a shoot on forget weapon. You shoot at the enemy and you forget about it. You run around and you wait for the pylons to do the job, kill the enemy for you, while you just dash away from him, hide behind the cover and try to survive, gaining as little damage as possibly you can on your suit integrity. Now, if we're talking already about position movement and a weapon choice, how could we miss the dashing? It is a bread and butter of every single encounter you will have in Returnal. So, what is dash? Well, it's a very simple system that lets you quickly jump to the side, to the back or to the front, but what a lot of people don't know about, well, except of the ones that play Dark Souls, there is a system called invincibility frames, which means just before the projectile is about to hit you, you dash into that projectile, and the frame that it takes for you to dash, you're invincible. You can dash through it, it will not touch you, it will not deal any damage. Unless the projectile is very dark purple, these projectiles will always hit you no matter what you do. Now, the main point of Returnal is not to survive the rooms, it's to survive the boss fight, and artifacts and parasites are a very important part of building your equipment to survive that boss. There are few artifacts you always want to pick up, like astronaut figurine, which will respawn you after you die during a fight with more or less half of the health points. Also, parasites. Well, not all of them are good, not all of them are bad. Parasite for me is a very risk and reward mechanic. So you have to consider whether the reward for picking it up is bigger than the risk of the malfunction that you're getting. If I'm gonna have a parasite that makes obelisks last 1.5 seconds longer, but it's gonna make my dash cooldown for 2.5 seconds longer, then well, obviously it is a no-no to me, because dash is my main mechanic of survival. If there is a parasite that makes this dash a little bit longer, or it gives me a special effect like explosion, then I will usually pick it up. Now, a lot of people are complaining that there is no checkpoints in Returnal. Well, it's nothing further from true. There is a ton of help to help with, well, ton of help to help you. There is a ton of help for you to survive. Let's start with fabricators, for example. It's a little checkpoints that if you die in middle of the fight, you respawn at that single particular point of the map again. So instead of resetting the cycle, you just move back a few rooms. There is the healing beds. There is the healing bed in your ship, where if you go back to the Helios, if you jump into the bed, it will heal a proportion of your life. In majority of the biomes, you will find a massive Xenotech healing bed, where if you jump on it, it will heal you and it will improve your suit integrity. Now, you don't want to do an empty runs in Returnal, even if you completed a boss of a first biome or a second biome and you just want to transfer through to the third one. It's a really bad idea to just dash through the rooms, go to the teleport, get as fast as you can to the third biome, because you're not collecting artifacts, you're not improving your weapon pro efficiency, you're gonna be really skinny in there. Now, this is where bonus rooms come in. When I play Returnal, I never do empty runs. I always discover every single possible room I can. Some of them have got an insane treasure hidden inside that actually help you unlock whether perma upgrades or temporary cycle upgrades that really change the quality of the game. For example, I would have never known that there is an upgrade or artifact that allows you to collect only 2 of the resins to improve your integrity instead of 3, and with help of that I have actually managed to get the trophy for 200% of integrity. If I wouldn't go into the bonus room, I wouldn't even know that exists. If you're struggling on malignant items, because you can have only 2 malfunctions at the same time, so malignancy is very risky play, but I always pick it up. The challenges are not hard, and if they are, then you can always find a consumable that just repairs all of the malignancy. Now, if you don't want the malignancy, you could spend some ether on the item to cleanse it and then be able to use it without any repercussions. Now, where do you get ether from? Well, there is a lot of ether on every biome, on every map. As long as you discover every single possible room, you will always end up having at least 5 or 6 ether from each biome. Plus, every single day you can take part in a daily mission from the Helios ship. Daily mission unlocks after you finish Act 1 at the very beginning of Act 2. Every time you take part in a daily mission, you get rewarded with a 5 ether straight up from the sole fact that you switched on the daily mission. The last point I want to talk about, because it's not always obvious, the enemies have weak spots. Majority of them, if not all of them, will have a weak spot. How do you recognize it's a weak spot? It will be a bright red part of their body. Whether these are the mini bots with missiles, it will usually be their backpack. Whether it's a massive tentacle monster, it will be usually around his head, around the eyes. Look for brighter spots and keep pushing these spots. Majority of the bosses, like Frike, also have weak spots. Frikes, for example, is gonna be the head. You wanna always aim at the head. You will deal higher damage in that spot. You will kill him faster. Your chances of survival will increase incredibly. So this was my few points that I wanted to share with you guys. If you have any questions or so, please post them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share or subscribe my channel. Give me ideas to improve my content. Feel free to talk with me and I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.